Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Town Council meeting for Monday, September 8th. We are now called to order. At this time, we will move on to the portion of the agenda for the opening prayer. With that, I will ask Councilmember Dixon to give the opening prayer.
Father, we thank you for your love. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy, God. We thank you, God, that we gather here today, God. Grant us wisdom, unity, and compassion, God, as we discuss matters that impacts our community, that will impact our residents' life, God. Guide our words and decision so that we may bring fairness and peace and progress. Father God, bless our police officers. We thank you for them, oh God, and our staff, oh God, our residents, and also the council as we make wise decisions. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. At this time, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the Pledge of Allegiance. The next item on the agenda is the approval for tonight's agenda. And with that, is there a motion to approve?
That's a move.
Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any corrections or comments regarding tonight's agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Next on the agenda, we have the good fortune of a presentation from Ms. Renee Green of our Patriotic Committee. So over to you, Ms. Green.
Good evening, Mayor and council members, Town of Bladensburg staff and citizens. For the Patriotic Report this month, July 2nd, we celebrated Independence Day with the fireworks and a wonderful evening. And we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Peace Cross on July the 12th. It was a very historical day, and we had many speakers, and we had a really, really great celebration. It was the hottest day of the year, though. And that was a little concerning, but it was better than the rain. So it was followed by a luncheon at the Chevrolet American Legion. And today marks a historical day, too. It was 10 years ago today that the Peace Cross was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So, and we will celebrate Veterans Day on Tuesday, November the 11th at 11 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing everyone then, and that will be followed by a luncheon too. That's my report.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
for the luncheon, I think we have a good system of providing enough for a nicer lunch.
Yes, yeah, your donation was pretty hefty.
Okay.
In May, and so that was very well received. But I do think that we need a receipt. So in the future, if we could get a receipt from the American Legion for
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
So-
And would that be from, oh gosh, Cynthia? I
Yes.
can't think of her, Commander.
Yeah, that would be from Cynthia.
Okay. So we can
Chatham.
reach out to her to get the one from May and then just let her know for November. We're going to need that receipt for finance. Okay.
Yeah,
No
I think
problem.
that'll be very helpful.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. But it's nice that the elevated lunch was appreciated by our veterans and their families. I mean, we really want
Yeah.
them to feel celebrated, and so I can't remember which council member suggested we increase that donation, but thank you to whoever did it.
Yeah, that was greatly appreciated. And it is, you want people to come back and you want people to come again.
Right. Right.
And I think that was very helpful so that we could have a much
Yeah.
better lunch.
Absolutely.
Chevrolet Legion.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I just at the Chevrolet Legion.
Yeah. And then also, we appreciate you participating in the 100th celebration of the Peace Cross. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I was flying back home
I
that
know,
day.
I
But
know. Mhm.
it sounds like it
missed
was
you.
beautiful and well attended. So
yes.
thank you for putting that together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I had a lot of help.
Yeah.
But yes, you know.
Excellent.
And Ray did so much, and we still have the wreath. I think that we had that specially made, the very large wreath, the white wreath that's in the back there, but you can also see it on the website and everything. We had that specially made. So thank you to the town for providing the funds for that, and I think that it just, elevated the celebration. It was very nice. It was very formal, and we had a lot of great speakers there.
Excellent. And I can't recall if we've invited you already, but we're kicking off our task force meetings for the semi-quincentennial celebration next week. So
Okay.
if we haven't, we will make sure we get that because it would be great to have your participation as well.
Oh, I'd love it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I look forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Green.
You're welcome.
Well, that completes our Patriotic Committee update for tonight. Again, thank you to Ms. Green for keeping our efforts moving forward in such a professional manner. The next item on tonight's agenda is the approval of meeting minutes. And so we have a couple of sets that we need to approve. The first set of meeting minutes was for the regular council meeting on July 14th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any corrections or comments regarding the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. And then next, we have our special town council meeting minutes for July 14th that require approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any corrections or comments regarding the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. At this time, it looks like we are on to public comment. Madam Clerk, has anyone signed up for public comment?
We just
I
have one resident, Miss Susan McCutcheon.
Okay, thank you. Your smile is so bright. You're lighting up the room. I wonder what news could have prompted such a smile.
Susan McCutcheon, and I live on Spring Road. And I know you're always so anxious to hear me talk about the superconducting magnetic levitation train update. And I have an update. It's been canceled. The project was canceled by the Federal Railroad Administration. And it came as quite a surprise, and we got a kind of tip-off from a senator who called one of our people who said, hey, and then we made sure it was right, and then we couldn't believe it for like 3 days, and then, okay, are you sure? Are they lying? What? Are you sure? Are they lying to us? What's going on? But it's been canceled. And on Monday, September 15th, Senator Alonzo Washington worked with Prince George's County Council members Jolene Ivey and Calvin Hawkins on getting a party together to celebrate community elected officials, everybody who worked on this. And it's going to be over at the Greenbelt American Legion from 6 to 8 p.m. I've sent out, we spread the word. We want council members, everybody who's been supportive, and it's a big party for the community. So that was really a really wonderful thing to have put together. But thanks to everyone who worked very hard to try to get out the information so the community knew what was being talked about, because that was not forthcoming from Northeast Maglev. So, and I would like to ask, and I'm sure you have it on the on your schedule, but will the candidate, you said there are 5 candidates for the election coming, if we could have like a short bio, I don't know if you have a plan for that, the listing and a short bio in the newsletter, so we can see what's who's running.
It will be in the newsletter, and the newsletter is out already.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it. All right, thank you very much. And in general, I'd like to say, having worked on the plans, the strategic plan and that kind of thing, and been to charrettes and all sorts of different things, that I do agree, as was said in the work session, a lot of things have been happening. People have an expectation that elected officials are going to do everything they say, whenever they say it, as fast as possible. Sometimes it can work, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm saying I appreciate the council, other members who were before, and having been to all meetings about the strategic plan, et cetera, there has been a lot of progress in Bladensburg, and I think we should really appreciate what we have and try to work hard to keep it, and join Indivisible to try to do Indivisible groups. Indivisible Route 1 especially is doing a lot of activity. We have to keep what we have, or we are going to lose it if we don't pay attention. And that's why I love to see this council and all the staff and everyone coming out so strong to try to do the right thing, because in many levels a lot of wrong things are happening.
Amen.
So thank all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Ms. McCutcheon. We appreciate your comments. And Madam Clerk, is that our final resident for tonight?
Yes, that's our final resident.
All right, thank you. So at this time, public comment has concluded, and we will now continue on with the agenda to new business. The first item is a continuation of the conversation in the work session tonight, Ordinance 05-2026, and I will turn it over to Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 05-2026, fiscal year 2026, budget amendment for PY 51 CDBG funds in the amount of $188,750. An emergency ordinance to amend the operating budget of the town of Bladensburg, Maryland for the 2026 fiscal year, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, to increase grant revenues under restricted grants for $188,750, to increase grant expenses and under restricted grants for $188,750, and be further enacted and ordained that upon passage of this ordinance shall be authenticated by the signature of the mayor and town clerk, and shall be recorded in a book kept for the purpose. In addition, this ordinance shall be published by posting a certified copy of it in the town hall for 10 days following adoption pursuant to Article 2, Section 209 of the Charter of the town of Bladensburg, Maryland, effective the 8th day of September 2025.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk, for the reading of this ordinance. This is being posted as an emergency ordinance, which means it would be one reading tonight, and the council would vote on it, and it would immediately take effect. And so with that, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 05-2026?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any comments or questions regarding ordinance number 05-2026? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. The ordinance is approved. Next, we'll continue on with the reading of ordinance number 06-2026, and we'll turn it back over to the staff. Chief, do you want to say anything before we have it read into the record?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, colleagues, and community. I just wanted to, say that it is our vision and our goal to continue to bring transparency and accountability to the community, the officers' performances, and with this grant that we just received, this will keep us in line with transparency and accountability for our residents.
Thank you, Chief. And I think you shared in the work session, this would really enhance the services of the officers with translation services when there's a language barrier and the body cam is running, to just help them to provide better customer service, as one example of the technology that could be used for this grant. Yeah, go ahead, Chief. It was a handout. It was a pass.
Oh, yeah, good segue. Yes, it also, this is the police accountability, community, and transparency. So the other part of that for the community, like if we wanted to purchase PSA boards, public announcement boards, anything that we could do to help improve getting notifications out to the community, just being keeping everyone informed and engaged in the community as well. So this is a good grant that will put us on that pathway of technology where we can keep residents informed and engaged.
Great, thank you, Chief. So, Madam Clerk, we will turn it over to you. I hope you hydrated. This one's a little bit longer.
I always have my water. Ordinance number 06-2026, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment for the acceptance of the Governor's Office of Crime Prevention and Policy Grant, Bladensburg Police Accountability Support Program for the SFY 26 Police Accountability and Community and Transparency Grant Program for $65,000. An emergency ordinance to amend the operating budget of the town of Bladensburg, Maryland for the 2026 fiscal year, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, to increase software equipment expenses for the police department by $65,000 for the purchase, deployment of software and equipment for the town, and increase for revenues for grants $65,000 to offset expenses related to purchasing property and software for the town, and be further enacted and ordained that upon passing, this ordinance shall be authenticated by the signature of the mayor and town clerk and shall be recorded in the book kept for that purpose. In addition, this ordinance shall be published by the posting of a certified copy of it in the town hall for 10 days following its adoption pursuant to Article 2, Section 209 of the Charter of the Town of Bladensburg, Maryland, and will be effective the 8th day of September 2025.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With that, is there a motion to approve emergency ordinance 06-2026?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions regarding the ordinance on the floor? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The emergency ordinance is approved. Thank you all so much. And again, congratulations, Chief, on that grant funding. The next item on the table is ordinance 07-2026, and for this, I will turn it over to the town administrator and chief.
Mayor and council, this is a first reading again of an ordinance that will allow us to amend our penalty, fines, and fees for the town of Bladensburg in regards to traffic and traffic citations. It will also allow us to use a collection agency and allow them to charge to the state maximum amount, because it's a certain percentage that we'll need to be able to pay the collection agency, and that's what will authorize that. Back in May of 2025, you approved an agreement with Municipal Collections Agencies of America, and this is the companion piece, as well as the information that we approved in regards to some of the stop sign cameras that were approved as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that overview, Town Administrator. Chief, did you want to add anything else? I know we talked about it in the work session, but just want to give you the opportunity. If you want to add anything, are you sure?
Well, I would just add the one additional piece, just for the public's information and knowledge of the new speed camera fees that passed the last legislation that will take effect next month, October the 1st. So our speed camera fees will be increased from $40 up to $425, depending on the rate of speed that you're going. 12 to 15 miles over will be $40. 16 and 19 miles per hour over will be $70, and 20 to 29 miles over will be $120, and 30 to 39 miles over will be $230 fine, and 40 plus miles over will increase, the penalties could increase up to $425.
Wow. Gosh, that hits you in the gut right there. Thank you, Chief. So, yes, Councilmember Brown.
Chief, one question, please. What is a flagging fee?
So the flagging fees, if you don't pay the fine,
Yeah.
you won't be able to renew your registration.
Oh,
So there will be a
okay,
flag
okay,
fee.
okay.
So,
Did you get flagged? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's flagged with MVA. Yes, Councilmember Dixon.
I have a question. I'm not sure if it's for Michelle or Chief. In regards to the debt collection, which is the collection agency, how does that benefit the town? How much percentage are we getting from them or are we giving them?
Do you want me to, so I can answer that. It would be a pass-through. So what we would be able to do is charge the person who is gone to debt collection for the debt collection fee, so the town doesn't absorb the debt collection. So that's what we're asking, is so that once it's gone to debt collection, that 39% is added to the 35% is added to the actual bill, so that the town doesn't have to absorb it. So it's a cost neutral for the town.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the
And it
council?
is a standard, I can see Councilwoman, I could kind of see the wheels turning. That is the standard process for most towns, that we would have some type of cost neutrality. And that's why it has to be adopted by ordinance, and it has to be posted because of the issue of trying to make it cost neutral for the town. And if there is a change that you want to share the cost of the debt collection that's the reason why we're going to read it a second time, is that you can make that change. But what we did propose it as a cost neutral basis, so that you have their services and that they're paid by the person who actually incurred the debt.
And so these are the fees.
Your mic's not on, Councilmember. That's all right.
And so these fees were generated from Maryland, state of Maryland law?
Yeah, so in the state of Maryland law, there is a cap to what you can charge for debt collection, and that's what we agreed with MCA, is that they could not exceed the cap that was included. The other fees, which the chief has read into the record, are some new changes, and that's why in the first session, I mentioned that the town attorney was reviewing this, and that she would be providing you an updated version of this ordinance, but we wanted to make sure that we got it out there for a first reading, one, giving the public notice that we were adding new fees and fines, and the fact that you will see an amended version of this for the final amounts, because we just want to make sure the language is correct. This was language that we got from someone else, and we want to make sure that our town attorney is in agreement with it. She gets back tomorrow, and so we wanted to at least post the first one today.
Thank you for those questions. Any other questions from the council? So with that, again, tonight is just the first reading. Council, do you want to vote to have an abbreviated reading of it, or do we have to read it in its entirety since it's the first one?
I
Town
say that you can
Administrator?
read the introduction, not only to both save the town clerk some breath, but also because of the fact that it will be amended, and then we will read the amendments into the record on the second reading, if that makes sense.
It does. Okay, so council, is there a motion to authorize the town clerk to read the abbreviated version of ordinance 07-2026?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt, seconded by Councilmember Dixon. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. So with that, Madam Clerk, we'll turn it over to you for the abbreviated reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to amend chapter 112, vehicles and traffic, by adopting 112-13, traffic control signal monitoring system, amending 112-13.2, penalties, remedies, and fees, to change or establish certain fines or fees, and generally relating to automated traffic enforcement systems. Be it further ordained that this ordinance shall take effect 20 days from the date of its adoption. Be further ordained that if any provision of the ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstances held invalid for any reason, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions or any other applications of the ordinance, which can be given effect without the invalid provision or applications. And to this end, all the provisions of the ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. introduced by the Mayor and Town Council of Bladensburg at the regular meeting on September 8, 2025, adopted by the Mayor and Town Council of the Town of Bladensburg, Maryland at a regular meeting for second reading on October 20th, 2025, and thereafter, this ordinance was prominently posted for 10 days in the Town Hall and available for inspection by the public.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. We appreciate that, and we still have to keep going with another resolution, number 02-2026. So, Town Administrator, do you want to give us the preview before having it read into the record?
Yes, and Mayor, what I would actually ask is that I would ask that you would do an abbreviated reading that would only pretty much put for your appointments in there, because since it has been published and the town attorney has found that with the publishing of the other complete information, you really just need to probably read into the record the 2 appointments. But this is the appointment of members to the Bladensburg, Colmar Manor, Cottage City, Edmonston, Port Towns, CDC, which is the BCCE, but to try to make sure that we give that, but that's the actual name of it, and that we are appointing 2 members, one from the member of council and one from the public. And those appointments will be effective for 2 years. And also that we are looking for these people to start the new Port Town CDC, which is a very exciting opportunity. And the council has given us great leadership in putting this together. As you passed in 2024, an ordinance that formed it and made the town administrators ex officio members, and also set up the provisions that we're doing tonight. This is a first step in really developing economic development for the Port Towns, and I'd like to thank you for it. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Town Administrator. As we discussed in the work session, we still need time to identify a community or a business representative. But at this time, we do want to put forth Councilmember Blunt to serve as the representative for the Town Council. Pop your collar. So with that, I'm just wondering, it's so we can do it all in one step, or should we just go ahead tonight, do the resolution, and then amend it
Right.
later?
Do an appointment of a resolution,
Okay.
maybe that you're only doing a resolution in regards to the council member, and then we'll bring back the community member in October once you've made that decision. Does that make sense?
It does.
And that way, that also knowing that, we will send Councilwoman Blunt to the first meeting, which could happen right before this.
Okay.
And she will be our representative, and you will be short one person until the November meeting. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So with that, and Madam Clerk, are you fine reading the whole resolution, or do you want an abbreviated?
I believe for the resolutions, we can read the titles
Okay.
and then just add the council member there.
Okay, so if you could do that with Councilmember Blunt inserted in there, that would be great. Thank you.
A resolution of the mayor and town council of the town of Bladensburg appointing members to the board of directors of the BCCE Portstown Community Development Corporation. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and town council of the town of Bladensburg that the following individuals are hereby appointed to serve as the members of the board of directors of the BCC Portstown Community Development Corporation. Council member Blunt would be the council representative for the town of Bladensburg. Be it further resolved that the term of the service for each appointment shall be a period of 2 years commencing October 1st, 2025, and continuing until September 30th, 2027, or until such time as the successor is duly appointed, adopted by the mayor and the town council of the town of Bladensburg at a duly called meeting held on September 8th, 2025. Be it further resolved that this resolution be and is hereby adopted this day, the 8th day of September, and shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. And then we corrected.
So moved. By Councilmember Brown, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions regarding the resolution? Apologies. We'll do that again, Mr. Gray. So the motion was made by Councilmember Brown to approve Resolution 02-2026. The motion was seconded by Councilmember McBride. We now call for questions regarding the resolution. I'll just say thank you, Councilmember Blunt, for stepping up. If you need a backup, I'm here. If you can't make a meeting or something, just let me know or let us know, and we'll sub in for you. With that, we'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The resolution is approved. And again, we'll come back with an amendment once we have the community representative. Next, we will turn it back over to you, Town Administrator and team, for the contract approval for Calvert Ready Mix.
Mayor, Council, I'm going to let Ms. Watson do this one because Mr. Paul did help with it, but I think that Ms. Watson is well prepared for this. Ms. Watson.
Again, Mayor and Council, in front of you is Part 2 of the CDBG PY50 sidewalk and curb repairs. This is a contract for Calvert Ready Mix in the amount not to exceed $50,560.14 for sidewalk and curb repairs for Upshur Street. We had 6 bidders. They were the lowest bidders, and they just actually completed the sidewalks on Taussig Street. They did a great job, no complaints from residents, and our public works supervisor talked great about them and how they were very informative and keeping communicating with us. So we are definitely behind this company to doing this project. We also know because of this and the last 2, we still have funds left, so we're able to see how much more work we can do in the town because of it.
That is excellent. And we appreciate the work to stretch those funds as much as possible to get more infrastructure work done in Ward 1. So with that, is there a motion to approve the contract with Calvert Ready Mix?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions regarding the contract approval? Here, for those who couldn't hear Councilmember Dixon, she's happy that this is being done in Ward 1. With that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it, and yes, we're happy this project is in Ward 1. Yes, ma'am.
Because 2 is okay.
Yes. All right, next up is the MOU with State Highway Administration regarding the Kenilworth ramps, Annapolis Road and US Route 1. Town Administrator?
Mayor, Council, we're asking for the approval of this agreement in a form to be approved by the town attorney. In the previous session, there were a couple of issues that we will make sure that we remedy in regards to the contract amounts. But this is for the ramps and on Kenilworth, and it's been a project that we've been very proud to help with SHA with. And it's something that we think that you should continue for the next 5 years. So I'm asking for your approval of this contract in a form approved by the town attorney, and I will sign off as the signator.
Great, thank you, Madam Town Administrator, and I would agree. It gives us the opportunity to have more control over the cleanliness in our town versus having to wait for SHA to respond when we call them for assistance. It's not a moneymaker. However, it does help with the quality of life for our residents and not having to wait for the state, which has a huge territory. Council, I would ask for a motion to approve the right-of-way MOU with State Highway Administration.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember McBride. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. And then Councilmember, did you have a question about the contract?
Yeah, no, that's a quick question. So in terms of the cleanup, do we still request or put in a 311 request for them to do the cleanup and then provide assistance after we make the request to them, or do we just?
That's
Nope,
interesting
we cut
thing. Yeah, so no, it's okay. So what we would love to do is if you, instead of doing the 311 to SHA, letting us know, I think we've had some direct contact when people have felt like it's gotten out of control since we maintain it now. We just only bill 4 times per year. So it's not something that we're maintaining it, but there's only 4 times a year that they're actually paying for us to clean it up. So that's the only issue. So as for the citizens, if you see excessive trash or like overgrowth, can you please contact the town and we will take care of it. It's just that we are not able to bill them for all the times we go out.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for that question. And with that, if there's no other questions, I'll call for, oh, sorry, Councilmember Dixon, I apologize. I did not see your hand. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Michelle, in regards to the cost, will this amount be enough for the 5 years, just in case material increases?
Yeah, it's not, these are not, you're never gonna get rich doing these from the state. So no, it's not, it doesn't, I mean, it covers our costs for 4 times a year, but the responsibility of it is more than the 4 times a year. So that's the issue,
Thank
really.
you.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's not a revenue generator. You know, it's really a matter of quality of life and cleanliness and taking on the responsibility versus waiting for the state to get to it and taking some work off their hands as well. So
And they like that.
with that, the annual amount, trying to find it, it was like, yeah, 13,000 was the cap, and then 4625 per year is the max that we can bill for, but that's for all 4 quarters. So not a huge money maker, but again, it's helping us
It's
clean up
helping.
our community and have more
We
control.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. So with that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. The contract is approved. Thank you to the staff for doing the work on that. The next one is like super quick. We talked about the meeting date for October needing to be changed from October 13th to the 20th due to fall conference. And so would ask for a motion to officially change our meeting date for the month of October. Moved by Councilmember Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any further comments or questions regarding that change? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. That council action has passed. Next, we want to also formally approve the draft of our legislative priorities for session 2026. Town Administrator, I know we talked about it a little bit in the work session, but if you want to give a preview again, we'd appreciate it.
Sure, that's just a brief summary of the discussion that we had at the previous session in regards to the legislative priorities. What we've done is provided a draft that have many of the same items that we had last year. However, maglev will be off because that was on, right? So I'm like, I have to make sure to make that amendment. But that we will also, that there are, another big one that we've added are economic development and the Port Town CDC, making sure that's funded, and annexation. And as I mentioned before, since we are one of the poster childs for annexation, that we'd like for people, the state not to inhibit municipalities from annexation. But a lot of the things have been consistent in our items that you have on there. The chief in the previous session, and I'm going to let him speak to those items, did make some suggestions of things that we will be adding to this. What we will do is once that is completed, we will design it in the same way that we did last year's. Ray has already come up with a new template, which is exciting. I did not share it with you, but it's beautiful as usual. And it'll be a opportunity for us to kind of have a piece that we can take up to the legislature. Last year it was really well received when we took it to people because it kind of clearly stated these are things that we needed. And I think the nice thing about it is that when we were asked, what are things that you want for our legislators, they were able to look through it and go, oh, great, we can do this, you can do that, and we can kind of state our positions. So it's an evolving document. It's something that we think is really important. You've always had it, but the newly printed one is really helpful for us as far as making sure that our legislative team really deals with that. And it's not only Mr. Perez, but our economic development consultant who also uses it, whoever that will be in the next month or two. So there we go.
And thank you for that overview. I'm just wondering, should we hold on the approval until we have the input from Chief Collington and
I would say that, I would ask if you guys did it pending with Chief Collington, and I will send it to you I can send it to you for you to review online. I just need to be able to move forward for printing wise, that you guys agree that in theory, that you like a report, that you want it to be printed, and that what I will do is make sure that I'm contacting both you and the chief, and that we're working, drafting on it. It's not something that you need a formal council approval on. It's just more the fact that I wanted everybody to agree that the main principles that are there, but I'm also noting that the chief's sections need to be changed. So I would love to let the chief, if he wants to put anything else on the record, to do that, but I do have minutes from the last meeting. If he wants to add that right now, he can.
Okay, thank you, Chief, for confirming. I know you gave us some good input in the last meeting. So based on the discussion from today's work session and the edits that we've already discussed as the council, is there a motion to approve our legislative priorities for 2026?
Also moved.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Blunt has made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any further comments or questions from the council regarding our legislative priorities?
Yes.
Councilmember Brown.
Thanks, Mayor, real quick. So is this, like, I guess pending any additional updates that we made? What is the timeline that we may want to, make after looking over it again? Is there a window?
Thank you, Councilwoman, for asking that. So the window, we would like to have an event with the,
What was that?
Sorry, Mr. Gray, were you speaking to us? That was weird. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
It
he
sounded
said
like
that.
okay, well, that was a ghost. I'm sorry. I don't-
That's crazy.
That was weird.
It's not him?
No, go ahead, Mayor.
So, Councilwoman, I was answering your question. I believe that you asked whether or not before the ghost came in to kind of do this, the question that you had was, what's the timeline? So the timeline is that because the next council meeting is October 20th, that would be way too late for us to do the printing and have it ready. What we'd like to be able to do is meet with the legislators before that week or later. So like while we're at Bladensburg Day, I'd like to be able to have it and pass it around that 18th timeline. So if I could ask within the next 2 weeks that I can get all updates, and then Ray can turn it around pretty quickly because he does use Doyle printing for the printing, so we can do it locally. So if we can get it ready by that first week of October, we can have it ready for distribution to our team. Does that make sense for the timeline?
So that means we should have our edits to you, Town Administrator, by Monday, September 22nd.
That's fine.
Okay.
That will work, and I can make any, and that gives Ray about a week to make the changes and edits into the document.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then that way, Councilmember Blunt, if you think of something, senior related that we need to be advocating for, it gives you some time to give that some thought to, in case we're missing.
And
an important
Councilwoman, we
piece.
have the call-a-bus senior transportation issue always in there, and maybe it's something different about that because we were sort of speaking about that. And maybe it's something looking for the state or somebody else to pick it up versus the port towns.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, thank you. Can you hear us now, Mr. Gray? Okay, thumbs up. All right, thank you. All right, so we have the motion made by Councilmember Blunt. It's been seconded by Councilmember McBride to approve our draft legislative priorities for 2026. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. This is great progress. And I know the senator was asking about these when I saw him last month, so it's good that we can say we're almost there to be able to share everything with him. The next item will be quick. We mentioned in the work session updates about the semi-quincentennial celebration, the nation's 250th anniversary, which kicks off in January of 2026. And the town's task force will start meeting next week. We are meeting at 12 noon here at Town Hall. So council, if you're available, please come. I believe we'll have lunch for everyone. Or did I throw
What's
you
the
on the
date
spot?
again, Mayor?
Next Monday, September 15th.
Oh, okay.
Sandwiches or something,
Yeah.
since folks are on lunch break. And we'll get our group of folks together to talk more specifically about efforts in the town of Bladensburg to celebrate our nation's anniversary. It's at 12 o'clock and we'll go until 1. Yes. And the other part that we did share last week, or sorry, in the last meeting, is that I've drafted curriculum for a Civic Citizens Academy. The council and department heads will review that and offer some input. So we make sure we put together a robust course and launch that at the beginning of 2026. It'll be a 6 to 7 week course to really teach residents all about their government, give you the opportunity to ask us questions, how we work, how we legislate and govern, but also get into the specifics with our departments and how they function, how they make decisions based on direction from the council. And then we're going to also have some interaction there, including a couple of opportunities to turn the tables and have the residents be the council and walk the residents through how to conduct a council meeting and how to take steps to pass an ordinance. So again, we want to take this opportunity to get more civic engagement going on in the town of Bladensburg. So just look forward to launching those activities coming up soon. Town Administrator, did you have some other updates?
Did you want us to show the video?
Yes.
Okay.
We're ready for the
I'm going
video.
to try to
Okay,
share.
while you're teeing it up, so the Maryland 250 Commission, which I'm honored to be a part of, has commissioned a promo video, and we will play that for the community now.
Okay, I'm trying to press the play button.
Semi-quincentennial. Semi-quincentennial. Exactly what she said. Yep.
Semi-quincentennial. Now, it may sound like a mouthful, but it stands for something very powerful. 2.5 centuries of legacy, of civic spirit, and people who've shaped our democracy. Maryland's been there since the beginning, signing the Declaration and continuously striving to serve, include, and inspire. In 1776, Maryland helped lay the foundation of American democracy. But our story was shaped by more than just the signers. It was shaped by the labor of slaves, the voices of indigenous people, and the strength of everyday Marylanders who built a foundation for all. Our story is still being written. For generations, Marylanders have shaped our nation through active citizenship, through public service, and through a belief in something greater than themselves. The Maryland 250 Commission honors that legacy. Today, we recognize every Marylander's journey towards life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Uplifting voices from all communities that have shaped our path. So as we mark the semi-quincentennial of America, we know that the next chapter is ours to write. Maryland's story is America's story, and we're stronger for it. Happy 250th, America, and here's to the next 250 together.
Thank you. So the commission is very proud of the promotional video. Hopefully, as our task force comes up with our ideas, we can also post that on our page of the website once we get that populated and encourage residents to share it. But the meeting next week is to get Bladensburg residents together to talk about how are we going to tell our story as part of the celebration next year. And so again, the Civics Academy is one way to get people involved. We already have our Independence Day celebration, but we want to invite the community in to be a part of this and really help celebrate 250 years. So with that, I'll take any questions from the council. As I said, I know we talked about it in the work session, but just wanted to share it in the 7 p.m. meeting as well. All right. Next, we will turn it over to the town administrator for the town hall update.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So what we're presenting today. Thank you, Mayor and Council. I hit it again. I'm sorry.
It was
So
good.
sorry. All right,
was.
so this is one of the last ones that we're going to be presenting today. So this is the update from the town hall concept. What we have now is the updated floor plans, which are approximately 2,400 square feet. So let me, I'm going to share with you my screen if I can, so that I can do that. I'm just using Zoom, going to Zoom, sharing this page, sharing it with you now. Okay, I think you guys can see this, hopefully, and I'll make it a little bigger. Okay. I don't know why mine has this ugly bar in the middle, which I will move to the top, hopefully. I can try to see if I can get it out of them. And trying to, hold on. Hold on one second. My mouse. All right, oh well. All right, so just ignore the bar. But in the middle of the bar, it says there's 24,710 square feet, which is, and so when we go to the next page, oh man, this bar is gonna make me crazy. I'm gonna see if I can move it out of the way. But the second page, I think that will work. It's a little bit of a delay, so you'll see in a second. I think I've moved it. There you go. So the first floor is 14,025 square feet. And what we can notice over in the very top portion is the council portion. What the consultants did was really listen to the issue of an overflow council space. So they created a larger council space with a training room that has a removable door, which is right here in this very top. Code enforcement, dispatch, and then the cells with the jail cells that we have here will be on the first floor, right next to town administration. So I get to see all. No, I'm joking. It's right next to town administration. So we adjoin a wall with the special areas. On the second floor are all the other police areas that we looked for, which was there would be a shared gym and locker space, a roll call center, the police leadership in this corner up top, patrol, and our special investigative unit and SAT would be on the second floor. So these are more detailed, which is also included in your packet so that you can kind of see them a little bit more. But what we've had, so this is one of the last deliverables which they needed to provide to us. It's about 4,000 square feet smaller than our earlier estimates. What I asked them to do is sort of trim it down so that we had maybe less big hallways and spaces and more utilitarian space because of the fact that every square foot costs money. And so moving it down from 28,000 square feet to 24,000 square feet probably saved us about $1 million to $1.5 million in this floor plan. So this is not the final floor plan, but it is an ideal floor plan. So when we move towards the next step, which is what I'm going to tell you about, which is our next step, is that we continue to engage with Neighborhood Design Center, who we've already spent about $77,000 with, in regards to a development of an RFP or an RFQ, which is a request for proposals or a request for qualifications for a design bid process or just an architecture process. So they're going to give us their thoughts. We're going to come back to the council, explain what those are, just talk about what is a design build, what is a design bid build. So we'll give you all those different options so you'll be able to see that. This will help staff, which is what the extra scope is, to develop whatever the mechanism we're going to use for this process is. This continues us to move forward on this project. The only other portion that we still have a update that we're working through is the bonding and funding of this, which we talked about in the first session. Mr. Tonelli and I are looking at the state's bonding program, because if we were to seek outside bonding, we'd have to get certified by Moody or Standard & Poor's or Fitch or one of those groups, and that takes a long time. What we can do is build up our credit with the state, and as we build up a capital improvement program or a CIP, we would then move towards bonding on our own. So that's a long story, and I didn't mean to take this long, but I think it is an important process. We are trying to provide these updates in a very public forum because we did receive bond bill funding, and so far we spent about $85,000 of the $800,000 we have We're trying to be very conservative with our funding so that we can use as much towards construction as possible. So those are all that's just my overview, and I know it seemed like a lot, but I wanted to give the council as much information as we could on the
It's
record.
appreciated. I'm just counting down to the day where we can just take a wrecking ball to this place. I mean, we're so far past the useful life. We are really bursting at the seams here. And then just with the age of the facility, it's hanging in there. It's trying to hold on until we're ready to demolish and start construction. So it is exciting to hear these updates. Thank you to you, Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth and Mr. Tonelli, for doing the work to make sure that whatever decision we make, we have the proper financial information in front of us so we can make wise choices for the community and for our future. Any questions from the council at this time? Hearing none, we will turn it over to the clerk for an election update.
Yes, Mayor and Council, just quickly, our 2025 town election cycle has begun. We have 5 candidates certified and qualified to appear on the ballot for the 2025 election. I just wanted to thank the Board of Supervisors of Election and Ethics Commission for their hard work getting all the candidates certified quickly. Another point, I wanted the residents to know that we have new ballot drop box, one in front of the community center and one in front of Town Hall. So if you are filling out applications for absentee ballots, once you do receive your ballot, you can drop your ballot at at the community center or Town Hall or in the postage, in the envelope that's already paid for. So we have 3 options. One of the new things that the residents will see is that all the ballot envelopes are new and they are being mailed from a third party, not from Town Hall this year. Other than that, we have October 1st will be our election training for the Board of Supervisors of Elections. It'll be the use on the equipment as well as election day procedures. And again, I just want to thank Ray for all his marketing and of the election and getting all the information out there to our residents.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I think the other update you gave in the work session was that the absentee ballots were due back by September 22nd.
Yes, the last day to get an application for absentee ballot, to turn one into the Town Hall is September 22nd. I apologize.
Great. I just wanted to make sure folks are aware of that deadline. Thank you. And thanks for all your work as well as that of the Board of Supervisors of Elections. Any comments or questions from the council? Councilmember Brown?
Security of the boxes.
Yes.
So that the residents can feel and know that the boxes are secure.
Yes, so the boxes are very secure. They all have keys and they're under unlocked. Every day, we will pick up absentee ballots daily, and then we will bring them to Town Hall and then put them in a locked drawer inside of the Town Hall until the day of election.
Thank you. And seeing no other questions, we'll move forward to the next item, the informational memo regarding residential parking in town.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So I just wanted to take a point of personal privilege again to go back to the elections information. I want to really thank Ms. Watson for implementing all of the many facets of this election, because I don't think everybody realizes how complex it was from the standpoint of all the recommendations that were made by the Board of Election Supervisors, getting together the Ethics Commission, having them to do all the different reviews, getting them trained in the last few months. It's been a lot of work, and I really do appreciate the work that she's done. So thank you. And really making this a secure and being very impartial in this election, because it's hard. It's not an easy job, and that's the reason why I'm the town administrator and I don't have to do this one, because this is a very hard job. And I'm so happy and I'm proud of her for the work that she's done. So I just wanted to put that on the record, because it's not easy. I go in every other day and go, how's things going? And check on it. But then I walk back out and and then let her take care of it. So I just wanted to say that, because I don't think we give everybody the roses they need at the time they get them. And so really, Ms. Watson, you've done a really good job at this, and I appreciate the work that you've done. And I know that this is a high pressure, high stakes job. So thank you. All right.
Thank you.
I wanted to stop and just say that because I wanted to make it in the timely. But so the residential parking. So we had a nice conversation in the earlier session about residential parking. I did get some really good direction from the council from the standpoint of trying to put this in a priority process, that in 2026, we're going to do some data gathering, bring you some stats on what type of violations are being issued, and the police department's going to provide that to you. Well, from the standpoint of general staff, what we can also do is provide you with how much any kinds of parking studies, all that kind of stuff will be for the FY '27 budget or '28, just given what cost is. And then that will continue to listen and hear what's going out there in residential parking. But that's my understanding. And we have a little bit more detailed notes, but I want to make sure that the chief then can reflect back anything else that I've missed on this. But that's what I got from in the initial session, and I really appreciate council's input on this, because that's where we really wanted to do, is get what should we do next with this.
Chief Collington, is there anything you want to add there?
No, ma'am. I think she covered it pretty well.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, again, we'll just stand by for data based on the beefed up enforcement efforts that are taking place and see how that's working before making any sort of moves forward. But appreciate the conversation that we had in the work session and think we came up with a relatively good plan. The next item on the agenda is the strategic plan. So Town Administrator, if you could recap that for us.
Sure, Mayor. Strategic plan, I'm on. I should hear the difference of it, and I keep on messing it up. That's all right. So the strategic plan. So what we've provided in the council packet is sort of an update on where we are in the strategic plan. And as I mentioned in the first session, I have to say a round of applause for the council for getting a big portion of this done. So thank you guys for implementing and getting a lot of the existing strategic plan done. I know this is my cheerleading session, Vito. Don't laugh at me. So I got to give people positive feedback today. This is the new Michelle. The new Michelle is positive feedback, Michelle. So new Michelle. So the strategic plan is, in a lot of it, we have either made progress or completed some of those items. What we put together today is a Excel sheet that kind of that puts that together. What we're looking for in the next couple of months is to, one, update and add things that we are doing that are not reflected in the strategic plan, and provide a plan update for the council. And then what we can do is either have a session where we do a strategic planning session where we formally adopt that update, or we can put together just an update to say, these are things that we've done, and we have a report that says that. So those are the next steps. As you all, in previous emails or in a previous memo I put, we would go out to see how much a planning process costs. The initial quote was about $70,000 from the previous group. At this point, that is cost prohibitive for the town. But I do recommend that when we do a real strategic plan, that we do it with a third party. In the previous session, we discussed actually working with the University of Maryland or with the University of Baltimore. Some of the student projects have been, the University of Maryland does student projects, and they might be able to do some help, but the University of Baltimore does have a public administration program where they are doing some consulting. So that's just a big old summary of what, and I probably have missed something, but that's what we discussed in the last session, and we will be bringing back items to you periodically with updates to keep this moving forward.
Fantastic. Thank you for that recap. Any comments or questions from the council? I would say I would appreciate if we could have a separate session on it, because I really think we should walk through all those priorities and update it. And then also for the public's awareness so that they can see, I know it's in the packet and they can read it, but to really call that out. There's been a lot of strides in public safety, infrastructure, just so many areas that I think it's important enough. I mean, this is our guiding document to help inform our projects, so just taking that time would be beneficial. So with that, we've come to the end of the items for this section of the agenda. And now, the part that we all love the most, staff reports. Kicking it off is Mr. Finance, Mr. Tonelli, our treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yeah, it is. It's like,
have a better one
yeah.
than I do now. Now it's just working.
It's like 5 of me talking in here. I like this.
Okay, Mr. Gray, it's not fair. His mic is
Yeah, I'm
pumping
booted up
all of our
high.
mics now.
I'm gonna introduce starting lineup. Okay, so for July, it's, I don't want to say a sleepy month with revenues, but it's just starting out, and a lot of the revenues that we had brought in July and even in August are attributable to FY25. So it helps out the cash flow, but it's really for monies earned in the previous fiscal year that we're realizing. And the same thing with expenses right now. We are still closing out the fiscal year and should be closed out by, hopefully by Friday, if not Monday or Tuesday. So I can send the financials to the auditor. And I have been, we sent the auditor a lot of information already. Just waiting on the final financials now and also on our fixed asset schedule. And I've been in a lot of contact with them back and forth. What was I going to say? As far as the expenses, there's not a whole lot to talk about again since it's very early into the year. So it's only one fiscal month and we're still closing out August right now. There are some variances, but that is in relation to the community events that we had, and also staffing expenses were a little bit higher because of the July 4th holiday and also for the fireworks celebration where we had a lot of overtime. But those will even out as we get more months underneath our belt. Had the opportunity to go to MACO, Maryland Association of Counties Conference, Nursing City. Again, it's very helpful because you get to talk to other colleagues around the state, and not only in your field, but in other fields and in other counties and state departments. And actually, the vendor floor is where you have a lot of relationships there. I talked to quite a few of our current vendors, some new ones, and actually was invited to a dinner with a bonding agent that I've been talking to, that town minister has been talking about. And actually, my wife is traveling with them to New York this week to talk to 3 agencies, which is pretty cool to hear. They had to pitch to Moody's, Fitch, and yeah, and they get an hour, and they have to present and make a full presentation at each one of their facilities. So I'm following that closely, just down the road as we're talking this and everything. But I've been talking to that bonding agency for a while, except the principal just left to go to another company. I found out at the dinner, so it's but anyway, the audit work is ongoing, and we're hoping on Wednesday the 10th to see or get news of our first major disbursement from the county for the property taxes. So, if anybody has any questions?
Just really quick, Mr. Tonelli.
When that turn on?
He was so into his report,
Wow.
didn't even notice. On the communication contract line items, so we're over at 41K for July 25
Give me 1 second.
for account 6330, and I was just curious
We had stuff.
if something.
That's for the Axon annual contract. That is is that for the LPRs? Yeah, that's license plate reader program covered by a grant.
Okay.
And that is, excuse the financials, because really, when the bill goes in, the whole lump sum goes in, but really, I need to divide that up over 12 months so it doesn't get hit like all in 1 month. So we're just trying to get bills in as quick as possible. So normally it goes to a prepaid expense like our insurances, workers' comp, health insurance, general liability insurance. If we pay $150,000 for the year up front, we book it as a prepaid as an asset, and then we expense it down every month. So the financials kind of stay like this
Steady.
instead of going like this. So yeah, I didn't have time to smooth that one out yet.
No worries. Thank you, Mr. Tonelli. It just caught my eye at 103%. I was like, wait a
Yeah, I
minute,
know.
this year just
Yeah.
started. And you know, I get nervous because
Oh, yeah.
the tax revenue from property taxes is September going into
But again, it's still
October.
cash. I mean, even
Yeah.
though it's, we spread those expenses out over the year, it's still $150,000 up front for legit cash going out, $50,000 upfront down payment for workers' compensation, this at 41,000. So all these, we hit these big prepaids, and it's a lot of cash going out. So, and as I said, we're getting low in the reserves now because we're spending all this out, and our first major piece hasn't come in from the county yet. So now, this is about the time of year I start sweating horribly and worrying about it until I get that email on the 10th, hopefully. So.
And hopefully by next month's meeting being pushed back a week, that gives us a little more time to get that first, tranche of property taxes in
Yes.
to kind of settle things. So, okay.
And again, and we'll have a full quarter of financials
That's true.
under us by then instead of just 1 month right now. So.
Thank you, Mr. Tonelli.
Clock off still? Or is it
Nope. Over to Public Safety, Chief Collington.
Man, I was hoping I could get some of Vito's minutes, but since he took some of mine, I'll be quick this time.
You got your food?
So good evening, Mayor, Council, community, colleagues. My report has been submitted. It's online, but I just want to highlight a few things that we accomplished this month. Just want to give a huge shout out to our community action team putting our National Night event together. It was a nice turnout with the collaboration of our allied law enforcement, our community, our council, definitely our police officers. I want to shout them out as well for showing up and supporting the event. And that was on August the 8th. Again, school just started, so we were happy to again celebrate our young people going back to school. So we had want to give a shout out to our sponsors that helped with the backpack giveaway. Pastor Rouse from Church of Bethesda, Pastor Danny, and a couple of the local restaurant, La Chista. Don't get me to mess that up. Yeah. So they gave a nice donation. I want to give a huge shout out. They are always supportive of the police department and the community. So we were able to give away over 400 backpacks this year that were stuffed with supplies. So I'm really excited about that. Our units responded to this year. We had last month we had 1,118 police contacts. And a lot of them, if you look in the report, we do a lot of community outreach and premise checks, or what we call them. That is one thing that we want to make sure that we continue to do, is visit all of our various senior citizen buildings as well as our businesses, just to touch bases out there to let them know that we are here and to listen to any concerns that they may have. So you can see the number of premise checks that we did there throughout the month on top of all the calls. So we are out there reaching out, getting out of the cars, walking through the community, and touching bases with our residents. So I will stop there. We do have, I see we have a number of events tomorrow taking place, including Coffee with a Cop. We have Coffee with a Cop tomorrow at Chick-fil-A, and that's the 6100 block of Annapolis Road at Chick-fil-A. So they have been great partners with us. They actually, the owner of Capitol Plaza, Chick-fil-A, actually came to our National Night Out. So we had an opportunity to meet her, African-American owner of Chick-fil-A, and I was like, wow, you were there. Yeah, you met her. No, you met her, yes, yeah. So that was exciting to finally see her come down and meet with us. I will let, I got 26 seconds. So I'll let code enforcement read the code report. So that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Chief. Over to Officer Reinhardt for code enforcement.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents and citizens at home. I'll be very brief this evening. I just want to make a couple things. I know we're discussing about the parking. During the summer months, we responded to and actually issued 70 parking violations throughout the community. A lot of them were in the business section, but we have been rapidly addressing the vehicles. That completes my report. Now,
You get your 3 minutes.
also during the summer months, we've actually been meeting with a lot of the unhoused residents in the Bladensburg community, trying to provide them with some information and see if they're interested in services, social services to the other ones, VA, whatever they have. So far, we've only had one that actually took some information. Which is good. One out of about the 10 we met was an excellent, plan. Also meeting with Chief Collington, just to get some ideas, especially since the DC Guard has went into the District of Columbia and has had kind of pushed out some of the unhoused residents, and they've actually started to come to our community in Prince George's County. So we've also been meeting with the local code enforcements that are especially along the District of Columbia line, to see if we could come up with a plan to provide those residents with services. On the last note, it's a sad note. A longtime resident in the town of Bladensburg who's very dear to my heart, Miss Hattie Morris, passed away. She has been very influential in my life, especially in the town of Bladensburg. I spoke with her daughter last Tuesday. She had let us know her mother passed away. But again, like I said, she's been very important to my life and very important to the town. So I just want to make sure that the mayor and council residents know that. And that completes my report. Oh, and this Friday, we're actually going to do a final farewell drive-through past her house in support of her family in the morning. So.
Very nice. Thank you, Code Enforcement Officer Reinhardt. And our condolences go out to Ms. Norris's family. So sorry to hear of that loss to our community and to her loved ones. At this time, we'll continue on with staff reports, going to Town Clerk.
I promise I won't take long, but I would just like to thank the Town of Bladensburg for the opportunity to serve as Town Clerk and Assistant Town Administrator this past year. This has officially been a year, from when I started.
Does it feel like 10?
It was a year in August, but my year from my first council meeting. Yep. It is an honor to contribute to the progress of the community alongside the mayor, the council, my great leadership team, our great administrator, and my great colleagues. Over the past year, I've transitioned from more than 20 years of municipal experience in South Florida to Maryland local government. And this period has been a meaningful professional growth marked by challenges, collaboration, and I just want to say I'm very, very happy to be part of the Bladensburg team. And I'm not going to go through my whole report, but it does have some key accomplishments, some goals that I'm looking forward to that I did share with the town administrator for the future. And again, I just want to thank everybody and the whole team and everybody, and I'm looking forward to continuing the work as I go.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Watson. We're so glad that we could get you away from South Florida's sunny weather to Maryland with all 4 seasons. We're so glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel the whole cold again.
Getting ready. Your body's getting ready.
Excuse me, clerk, town clerk, do you have your coat? Do you have your warm coat?
I have a coat, I have boots, and I have a shovel this year because I didn't know I had to shovel my car last year. So
Okay,
I'm
it's
excited.
official.
I'm ready this year.
It's official. All right, thank you for that report. And Town Administrator, we will turn it over to you. I know Mr. Hall is not with us. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a second to go through Mr. Hall's report really quick, and I'll use my time, for his as well. So he did, in his report, he noted the activities that they provided as far as the 4th of July, and then they've done some new striping on 54th Street, and that was a big, with the police department, that was a big opportunity. They also installed the the benches throughout the town, which is some nice pictures in there as well. They've done a lot. They assisted with, some of the scenery events. They've made sure that they've done a lot of work around the right-of-ways, and I would say that we've done a lot. I've seen a big improvement in our America in Bloom, and they really were very, very instrumental in our most recent start for the America in Bloom. And most recently, they installed the ballot boxes. I'm just skipping through to kind of just put that together. They recorded 97, sorry, and I gotta have, this is where I need my readers, 87 tons of brush, 1.3 tons of building materials, and other bulk trash. Basically, he wants to make sure that we get out there that keep Bladensburg clean, and really the issue with styrofoam and other trash is for recycling or not for, that you cannot recycle styrofoam, that recycling days are Monday, and that's also yard waste day. So in that, I'm going to let you know that mine is a written report as well. All my report basically talks about are some of the accomplishments as a team that we've done this year, because again, just kind of like Miss Watson, this is sort of my anniversary time. I started in July, so I usually think about August, September as my time of the as a reflection time. So that's why mine is pretty much about that and has a green teen update. But that's all I have. If there's any other questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Town Administrator. It's officially 2 years in July of this year, right? So, yeah, it's flying by, but we so appreciate all of your hard work and your leadership. Yes, we really do. And the reason for a lot of these projects in the strategic plan being in progress or, further along is because you came in here with roller skates on, and we're trying to keep up with you. So thank you for everything. At this time, that completes staff reports. We'll now proceed to council reports, starting with Ward 1, Councilmember Dixon.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to be real brief. I'm going to give Councilmember Blunt some time. I'm adopting from Chief. So I attended the National Night Out, the Bladensburg Battle Tour, the Back to School giveaway, Bladensburg Day, CBPC webinar, and COG webinar. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Dixon, for that update. Next, we'll proceed over to Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello to the residents. We're glad to be back. As a matter of fact, we're glad to be back. But once again, I do want to thank our town staff. Front office. Yes, our town administration. You guys really do work hard. Work very hard. Finance, town administrator, clerk, the police department, the chief, code enforcement, public works. And the thing about it is that it's noticed. You can see it. We feel it. We live here in Bladensburg. So after we get off the dais, we go home, in Bladensburg. And so we really do appreciate all that you all do and show that you care about Bladensburg as well. So we really just can't say that enough. So we really do thank you all. I have attended a host of events. One of the events was Price Benowitz. They did a backpack giveaway at the Bladensburg Elementary School. So it was about 350 or so backpacks and supplies that, in addition to the other backpack giveaways that Price Benowitz did at the Bladensburg Elementary School. So I've, like I said, attended another host of events. I am just excited and looking forward. Excited and looking forward. So I will say that on September the 27th, please come out because we have another community meeting from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. So hope to see you all here at the town of Bladensburg, at the Bladensburg Town Hall on September the 27th. And that's pretty much it for my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Appreciate it.
Councilmember Brown. Next, we'll proceed with Councilmember, excuse me, Carol McBride's report.
Say that I'm glad that we're back. It's been an interesting summer. So with my report, let's see, the town administrator and I were able to do a meeting with COG on the phone, and it was very interesting. It was like a semi-interview, but they also wanted to know our input as far as Bladensburg with the COG committee. So we'll still be working on that. And I attended the Autumn Woods with the the police department, the backpack giveaway. And also I did volunteer work with the Church of Bethesda, who donated a lot of backpacks. So that was interesting, and that's about it. So I look forward to even more work this month.
All right, thank you, Councilmember McBride. And next, we have Councilmember Blunt, who apparently has extra time. So over to you.
I don't. Good night, good evening, everyone that's listening. And if you're listening, tap on your neighbor's door and ask them to tune in. Tomorrow, I only want to speak about the senior gathering on tomorrow at 10 o'clock from 10 to 2 right here in David Harrington's Park. I'm asking the senior citizens if you'd like to come on down and take part. And take part of the senior gathering. Please come down. We have a special guest that's coming tomorrow, Miss Marilyn Senior. Sherry Lumpkins will be attending the gathering on tomorrow. So come on out and have some fun, and you're going to be singing some karaoke. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But yeah, just again, continue to be safe out there when you're crossing the streets, wherever you're going. Take someone with you. Have your head on a swivel. I just learned that. Making sure that you very careful about who you meet, who you talk to on social media, and all that good stuff. But again, thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilmember. Did you have one more thing?
I want to say one more thing. Kudos to Westmore for what he said about our children. I know I'm not supposed to do that. I apologize. But thank you, Westmore, for your comment.
Okay. Thank you so much, Councilmember Blunt, for that report. And wrapping us up, I will say my written report is on the website now, so it's there for information. I just recapped the summer because it has been a busy summer going back to June. And highlighting some things there. Wanted to note, I did also have the opportunity to represent MML at the MACO conference. Thank you, Mr. Tonelli, for nudging me to do that. That was really helpful because in the budget outlook with Comptroller Brooke Learman, she provided some resources as far as reports that her office is putting out, which I think we need to be reading as we start preparing for budget outlooks for the coming year. The state does a lot and has some good data around numbers, revenue coming in, trends in terms of the number of workers that are leaving the state of Maryland compared to the number of workers coming in. There's a lot of information that can really help inform our decisions on the local level. So that was hugely beneficial. And Mr. Tonelli did tell me that conversations are different at MACO versus MML, and you do get more of that type of substance to really help you dig a little deeper and make some more strategic decisions. I'm thankful to the staff for the America in Bloom assessment going as well as it did. The assessors were great, but I think you guys, the work that you all put in specifically to that effort to build a robust schedule for the assessors really made a huge difference. So thank you, Michelle, Ray, Regime, everyone. Yeah. You guys did a fantastic job. And the open house at the farm couldn't have come at a better time because it was their last evening here. So for the assessors to be able to see our urban farm in action and to see the amount of interaction from the community and the support was hugely valuable. Again, Maryland 250 Commission activity has been heating up a lot. For MML, I had the privilege of sitting in on their summer symposium, August 1st. The panel was Building Resilient Communities and really talking about the impacts of climate change on minority communities. So it was nice to be able to use the case study of our mitigation project for flooding that we're working on in partnership with the Prince George's County Department of Public Works, and just to hear and learn from others. In closing, I will say the one thing I highlighted in red in my report was the Maglev project has been halted. And I did include as an attachment the actual letter to the Maryland Department of Transportation from the Federal Railroad Administration. So residents, please take a look at that, which really outlines the reasons why this project is dead in the water and hopefully will stay that way. So Ms. McCutcheon, thank you for your advocacy. I put a shout out in here for you and all that you've done to really help the community rally around this project, along with other communities who were very vocal as well. So that concludes my report. We are at the end of our time together, and so with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. Moved by Councilmember Blunt, seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions before calling the vote? All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. We're adjourned. Good night, everybody.